Is it true that BTS's Jungkook is now under a serious threat that even made his manager step forward to reveal it directly? Why would an idol as big as Jungkook, who is known for his clean image and full of love for his fans, have to face such a shocking threat? This is the question that now shakes armies all over the world. Shocking facts have just been revealed, and for the first time, BTS's manager has spoken out about the threats targeting the Golden Magne. But what really happened behind the scenes? Who would dare to disturb Jungkook's peace? This news is not just a baseless rumor spreading on social media. A direct source from BTS's manager confirmed that the threat is real, structured, and even worrying enough to involve additional security measures. The haunting question now is, what is the motive behind this threat? Is this merely the act of a fanatic gone too far, or is there a bigger interest that deliberately wants to bring Jungkook down? This report struck like lightning in broad daylight. The Korean entertainment world, which is usually filled with news about BTS's achievements, now has to face a bitter reality. A star with worldwide popularity, like Jungkook, turns out not to be immune to threats. The facts revealed by his manager raised mysteries that made the public wonder, how serious is this threat, and is Jungkook truly safe? The situation grew even more heated when various local and international media began highlighting the case. ARMY, known as the most solid fandom, reacted strongly on social media. They demanded clarity, protection, and definite answers from the agency, HYB. But surprisingly, before HYB released any official statement, it was BTS's manager who first spoke up. Does this mean the threats targeting Jungkook are so serious that they can no longer be hidden? The manager's statement became a turning point that escalated the issue further. In his remarks, he revealed that the threats had been detected weeks ago. But only this time did he feel the need to inform the public because the situation was already deemed critical. That statement immediately shocked many. How could someone who always appears calm, cheerful, and full of energy on stage actually live under the shadow of threats that could endanger him at any moment? Even more shocking, the manager did not only speak about vague threats. He mentioned the existence of a clear pattern, an indication that this was not merely an empty threat from an unknown individual. Instead, there is coordination. There are parties deliberately targeting Jungkook. This fact instantly divided the public. Some believed it was just the act of an obsessive fan who went overboard, but others suspected bigger hidden interests were involved. Could it be that these threats come from competitors in the entertainment industry who are disturbed by Jungkook's overwhelming popularity? Or could it be that there are other factors connected to major financial interests involving Jungkook's name? These questions continue to hang without clear answers, and this is where ARMY's curiosity grows even stronger. They want to know who the mastermind behind all this is, and why Jungkook had to be the target. As this news spread, ARMY's emotional reactions could no longer be contained. Many expressed deep concern, and some even cried during live streams on social media, voicing their fears that something bad might really happen to the idol they love. Quite a few also began urging the South Korean government to take action, considering Jungkook is not just any public figure, but a global icon who represents the nation on the international stage. BTS's manager, in his statement, confirmed that security measures have now been heightened. Jungkook receives extra protection, even in his private activities. This fact made the public realize that the threats are indeed real. If not, why would the manager have to reveal this to the public at the risk of causing panic? Could this be a way to send a warning to the parties behind the threats? Meanwhile, Jungkook himself has yet to give an official comment. However, internal sources mention that he feels deeply shaken. How could he not? On one hand, he is focused on his military service, undergoing intense training and upholding BTS's good name. On the other hand, he now has to face the bitter reality that his safety is under threat. Will Jungkook remain strong in facing this situation, or will this mental pressure greatly affect him? What's more worrying, this threat arises in the middle of a crucial period for BTS. As is known, all members are currently serving their mandatory military duty. This stressful situation could easily affect their spirit. If Jungkook is disturbed, what about BTS's future comeback plans? Could these threats be intentionally made to shake BTS when they are at their most vulnerable? Undeniably, This news has shaken the global entertainment industry. Many international media outlets have begun covering the issue, highlighting how world superstar is apparently never truly safe from threats. Jungkook, often seen as a symbol of success, perseverance, and dedication, now finds himself in a very fragile position. This fact opens the public's eyes that behind the glamorous stage and cheering fans, there is a dark side rarely seen. The tension escalated further when some fans discovered indications that the threats may be linked to past incidents. Some connected it to controversies Jungkook once faced, while others tied it to fierce competition in the Korean entertainment industry. But until now, there has been no solid evidence to reveal who the real mastermind is. What is clear is that the threats are real, and Jungkook is their target. Will these threats soon be uncovered? Will HYB and the authorities be able to protect Jungkook from the looming dangers? Or will the public be shocked by even darker revelations? Until now, those questions remain unanswered, leaving millions of armies around the world waiting for clarity. After all the commotion, the questions, and the panic that spread among ARMY and the wider public, now it is time to reveal the truth. Was Jungkook really under a serious threat as mentioned in various shocking reports? Or was this only an exaggerated issue that created a wave of fear without foundation? The latest facts have finally answered all the confusion. After further investigation and official clarification from the related parties, it has been confirmed that the threats said to be targeting Jungkook were actually not true at all. Yes, the shocking news that once made the world seem to stop turning was nothing more than a rumor that spread without any clear basis. The BTS manager finally gave a further clarification. He emphasized that it is true there are concerns about the security of an artist as big as Jungkook, but not in the form of a real and direct threat. Those concerns were more in the form of standard precautionary measures usually applied to protect top artists. Unfortunately, that incomplete piece of information was spread to the public with a twisted narrative, making it seem as if there was a huge looming threat against Jungkook. This statement shattered all the wild speculations that had been spreading. In fact, there was no mysterious mastermind, no structured evil plan, let alone a direct attempt to bring Jungkook down. What actually happened was only a misunderstanding, worsened by the way the news was reported using sensational language. As a result, the public was trapped in fear and curiosity continuously fueled by the issue. This truth became both a blow and an important lesson. On one hand, ARMY can feel relieved that Jungkook is in fact safe and not in any serious danger. But on the other hand, it also highlights how quickly false news can spread, even creating global panic in just a few hours. The next question then arises: who benefited from spreading this issue? Why did certain parties choose to exaggerate something that never actually happened? The threat issue against Jungkook once again proved how the big name of BTS always becomes a magnet for news. Even the smallest piece of information connected to them can quickly turn into big headlines, especially if wrapped in a narrative of threat, mystery, or controversy. Ironically, the media, which should play a role in guarding the truth of information, is often tempted to chase sensation. For ARMY, this clarification certainly brought enormous relief. The deep worry that once haunted them was finally answered. Jungkook is safe, his military duties continue smoothly, and he is not in danger as many had imagined. However, that relief was mixed with anger. Many fans believe this issue had been exploited to attract attention and create unnecessary panic. This truth also underlined an important matter: that Jungkook, despite always being in the world's spotlight, is still an ordinary human being who deserves privacy, security, and peace. When false threat rumors like this are spread, it is not only his good name that is at stake, but also his mental health. How would Jungkook feel when reading that he was supposedly being targeted? How would his family, his friends, and the other BTS members feel when hearing their younger brother was being hunted? The fact that this news turned out to be untrue should serve as a stern warning to both the media and the public. Do not easily believe every dramatic narrative without verification. Do not make someone's big name into a commodity merely for sensational gain. This case is a real example of how false news can create an extraordinary wave of emotion, even draining the energy of millions of people around the world. Now, after the truth has been revealed, what remains is both relief and unease. Relief because Jungkook is not truly in danger. Unease because we now know how vulnerable information can be twisted. Today that false news was about Jungkook, but tomorrow it could happen to another artist, or even an ordinary person whose name suddenly goes viral. The final conclusion is clear. The threat said to be targeting Jungkook never actually existed. What really existed was only an exaggerated precaution. Jungkook remains under protection, remains safe, and continues his duty as a South Korean citizen serving in the military. Yet, this issue leaves a deeper question. Will we as the public continue to be trapped in the circle of sensations created by false news? Or will we start learning to be more critical, to verify, and to ensure that the news we share does not harm others? One thing is clear, ARMY can now breathe a sigh of relief.
Jungkook is fine.
And if there is one thing to be learned from all this chaos, it is the awareness that truth is far more valuable than momentary sensation. The facts have spoken. Those threats were not true, and Jungkook is still the Jungkook we know, strong, cheerful, full of love, and always standing tall even when the world tries to shake him.